Hello, welcome to another vlog. And we're doing cozy activities and creative time because it's been a while since I did a proper sheer studio vlog. Jumped right into drawing. I've been working on a lot of drawings. Also, aside from what I'm drawing now, I've been working on Peachtober drawings. As I mentioned before, I want to be started on them as I don't think I can actually sustain drawing every day. In any case, this is the page, this is a project that I'm working more recently on. I decided to challenge myself to try and draw a graphic novel or something like it, because we know graphic novels do come in a different type of artistry, let's say. Some of them are much more complex and some of them are much more lighter. And I do follow multiple of lighter illustrators, such as like Sarah Scribbles. So, I thought no one's gonna judge if I'm not a super artistic person, and I'll still draw one, especially if it's just a challenge I'm making for myself. Actually, when I was making this one, this is supposedly a laundry room, and I was thinking that, like, drawing some of the environments where you just arrange things like fresh laundry and just imagining the order in place was actually relaxing somehow. And I got to challenge myself to draw, more backgrounds, for example, houses, and like it just keeps bringing me goodies to draw that I would not necessarily challenge. Also, recently I've been just discouraged to do art because I would always be like, "What's the point? What's the point in drawing something because I can't do anything with it?" I think that algorithms and like being able to access and reach public is much harder as well, and I don't have, the dopamine surge for like just sharing, sadly. So a lot of times I would be thinking of, oh, I would like to draw, for example, a bear, but I would be like, what's the point of drawing a bear? Because I'm not going to be doing anything with it. So as drawing with like a challenge like a peach tube or drawing with a challenge like drawing a comic book automatically made me think that there is some sort of point for us. There is some sort of goal. Um, and another thing, I'm really enjoying Japanese spirits, and I mentioned in the last blog so many times now. So I also using the story that I couldn't write because it was just stuck. So at the same time, I'm like managing to use so many things of it. So I'm enjoying myself, and I think that's the goal for now. Even though artistically it might not be a really high level, I guess, but it keeps me inspiring to like, oh, I want to draw these spirits in different environments. Oh, I want to draw some sort of new things. It keeps me like challenging myself. So at the moment, that's what I'm going to be doing, even though I am not sure what I'm gonna do with this finished product. I might just leak it onto my Patreon or anything. That's another thing. I want suggestions because if I leak it onto my Patreon, then obviously I don't have much of a Patreon, so like it's then not really sharing. But then if I share it in a big public, I don't wanna people be looking down on it. So I'm a really shy person, and I think I get more and more discouraged as I get older. So that's why I say do support and like just give some nice not compliment, but some nice comments or let me know you there. So let me show you. So first of all, let me show you what I've been working on. So first of all, I finished the cover for this graphic novel experiment I'm doing. And for now, I'm calling it Every Room is Haunted because that's pretty accurate. I'm trying to include a spirit in every room. Just wondering how can I make it any better. But here we are. I'm pretty happy with this cover actually, even though I can't really draw, but that's not bad, right? And my next part is what I'm gonna work on. It's gonna be like a toilet Well, I'm going through rooms, so this is what I'm starting with. Like all this text, all this information I want to include in a room. And the difficulty with graphic novels is, at least for myself, I can only like put 5 words in a bubble so it doesn't look too condensed. So this is really hard. I don't know if all of that will make it, but basically that's what I'm starting with before drawing. Also, I have so many layers because I've been drawing all of the pages in the same project. So I usually merge them. So like if I needed to change something, it would be real hard. So, it's something I'm doing for myself, but I just wanted to share. Okay. Hi, I am back. I've been working a lot off camera, but I'm back for a different reason, really. First of all, love the shirt, even though it's really comfy and not pretty, but it says focus on the good, and it has a little mushroom. So I really love it, and I've decided to wear my bees, which is not all to me at all. Anyway, what I really wanted to say, we splurged and got more books. And since I was filming a lot of like drawing material, I thought I could include this with that vlog. Anyway, I want to share. Boop, boop, boop. Since I challenged myself to draw a comic, we bought a lot of comics, honestly. So it's a whole of myself and my partner, so we have a lot of books. My partner got American Born Chinese, and I'm like, I'm probably gonna read it too. It's a graphic novel. So we got a bunch of graphic novels, just to say. And then I got Before We Forget Kindness, because I don't have this one yet. It's Before Coffee Gets Cold's continuation. So it's about time traveling cafe shop, basically, with a lot of rules. And it's a novella, so it's really quick read. I also got myself Garbage Night, the complete edition, because first of all, it's animal creatures and also a graphic novel. I am very much into graphic novels right now because I'm in a reading slump. So even though I got a lot of things, I'm really probably going to take time to read them. The next one is The Lantern of the Lost Memories. I think it's being sold as like very similar to Before Coffee Gets Cold. Something about photographs and memories. I am not quite sure about premise. Let me see. Yeah. Something about memories will flash before their eyes, guiding them to another world. So I feel like it's going to be really similar, some sort of time traveling or portal fantasy-ish. The Restaurant of Lost Recipes is a continuation of Kamogawa Food Detectives, and I really enjoyed it last year because it was about a restaurant that recreates dishes from the memories and like just again that nostalgia feel and also food. I haven't had a middle grade buy for a really long time, so I decided to get one because I haven't been like really interested in a lot of middle grades recently. But when I read one, it was really refreshing on my mind. So I decided to get a middle grade, and I put the stories that Grandma forgot and how I found them. And I thought it's another one of these heartwarming ones. I think I'm just really leaning into cozy these days. Now, this one got my partner got it. It's a Joker with a baby. So I'm like, okay, I might read it. It looks intriguing, but also scary. My partner got a Handmaid's Tale graphic novel, and I'm like, you sure you want to get depressed? Because if you don't know Handmaid's Tale, it's a dystopia about fertile women basically use the slaves to give birth to children for non-fertile couples. But basically, it's not agreeable. It's like a slavery. It's a dystopia. Anyway, I'm sure everyone knows about it. At this point, I managed to land TJ Klune's Somewhere Beyond the Sea, and I'm so excited. But then I realized that the first one I did as an audiobook, and I'm like, oh, what if I don't gonna enjoy it as a physical book? Anyway, look at these sprayed edges. Beautiful, and I think I'm really looking forward to this. Because House on the Cerulean Sea was just magical. Anyway, the only disappointment, we used annotations, and there's Victoria Schwab annotation, like being wrapped up in a big gay blanket, simply perfect. That annotation would already existed in another book. And that's why I'm now starting to distrust annotations, because apparently we can get recycled. This was another TJ Kuhn's book, but I'm like, I have so many trust issues as it is, and now I'm like, oh gee, don't know. Anyway, let's be quick with this. Akane Banashi. I only read what this was about, some sort of storytelling, and I thought it would be interesting because, again, sounds like something bookish and I might be enjoying it. So I thought I'd give it a go because I managed to see the volume one. So I'm like, I'll give it a go. Looks like it could be something I might enjoy. So, manga. My partner got Cardcaptor Sakura and Class of the Elite, but I'm not sure I'm gonna be into these. Though I am big, I'm also a big Clamp fan, and Clamp is amazing. So I'm more leaning into Xixholic. Xixholic is like perfect spirits and everything, but I love how we connect in between themselves. Anyway, all timey mangas, right? So this is, I think, concludes our haul, which is, to be honest, quite big, but a lot of manga in it, and I'm very excited. I really want to read most of these, especially because I also landed some new releases. Hi guys, I'm gonna be very vulnerable and basically just show what I'm working on. A lot of artists don't show entirely what the comic is, let's say what the exact project is, because it is being sold in the market somewhere. So we want to finish the project and then sell it. I personally don't think, since this is a challenge and experiment for me to see if I can actually finish a comic book, I don't know if I could ever sell it. I am not that delusional to think that it could sell. But if you feel like supporting me in any way with this project, or in any way, do subscribe for Patreon and support me in monetary value that way. Buy my books for sure. I do have a middle grade out. But either way, I'm gonna just share what I have so far. And since I reached about 15 pages of this sort of graphic novel or experiment that I've drawn, I am not a professional illustrator. That's why I had to get a professional illustrator to my last book, because I'm not feeling confident enough in my art. And this is the first time I'm trying to draw it in a graphic novel, and I'm like so excited. And that's my problem. I get very wound up with projects. I throw myself into feverishly and do as much as I can, and then I get very discouraged. So I'm kind of winding down from this feverish phase because I managed to do 15 pages in a week or a few days. And I think about 5 more pages maybe, and I'll be done with the entire ground floor of the mansion. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna look through page to page now and see if there's anything I can correct. There are some things that will be too difficult to correct, and I don't want to touch it up because when I started, I wasn't really even thinking about like paneling or a nice flow, because the main goal was like, can I finish this? So I was drawing it in separate pages and then merging it together. And that's very obvious in the first page, but I'm kind of going to leave it. But in any other pages where I think that I kind of draw it from the beginning, or like change it a little bit, that wouldn't necessarily cause me like trauma to do. I think I will be able to make it a little bit better. But either way, I'm going to share it with you. I have uploaded it onto Canva and used Canva to create page numbers, and also used a little loading bar from Canva. Everything else is drawn by myself. Okay. So this was the first page where I've drawn, and you can see that I've drawn it in 4 separate pages and I merged it. So the flow is not perfect, but I don't think anything in this page would specifically, like, if you read it other direction, I don't think it would be complicating anything. So I think it's fine to leave, at least for now. I'm kind of happy with this page. I did spend a longer time on it. So there is these author's notes. This was supposedly first page because it was more like introduction from myself. I drawn this little character with a flashlight. Then I was still writing a novel, and I was thinking to use these sort of loading bars in a novel, but I decided not to write it as a novel right for now, at least. So I'm using it here. So it still ended up being useful. Now, I don't like the flow in this page specifically. I also think I honestly just thinking like learning more and like upgrading if I can. Also, I think cover as well. I think girl's face could be corrected on the cover. So sometimes it's a bit lazy on the faces. So one of the other things, I don't think you can always read them easy and get the reactions. I think boy does look quite upset here, so that's fine. But I might also see if there's anything better in terms of pages or faces that I can do. But I know in this particular face, I think I can switch out the panel, this one with these ones because of a flow. So I think this particular page is very tricky on the flow. I also wish if I could make it a little bit more funny. So then again, I get another author's note because I introduce monsters. So thinking about how much I want to talk about monsters, Japanese monsters, I was thinking, could I make Japanese monster cards instead to introduce like an extras or something like that? Which is a lot of drawings, but given me not so high of a quality, right? So we have in the first... I'm really happy with this. I don't think flow is good. I don't think it naturally flows that way. I think we actually get drawn here a lot because of a darker font. So, but I don't think I can correct it in a way that it felt better. So I'm gonna leave it as it is for now. I think expressions could be better in this page. However, no new monsters, so that's always good because I can imagine how many drawings and redrawings I will need to do now. So I did make expression here. Obviously you can't see it. I did make the boy's expression. I kind of okay with Walker's expression. I wonder if the girl's expression can be any better. Sometimes it's hard, like we are just thinking or talking, you know, not everything is super expressive. But so I think I had a little bit of humor here with the soup, a little bit of humor with the stare, but I definitely feel like the humor could be better. Like there could be something more humorous in it, which, you know, we are fans of humor. Everyone is. I really don't like this one up there, that girl. I feel like redrawing the girl on the page. On this one, it's definitely, I really try to draw this one bottom one and I really struggle. So sometimes I just struggle. I don't like Augur's face here as well, if I have energy to correct it, because I did try as well. For some reason, that page is just not working out. So we'll see if that can be improved. The flow, this is page 8. The flow, you saw me drawing this one page. Once again, I was drawing separate pages instead of like thinking of the panels. I'm sorry, just hand is tired of holding you guys. But you saw me drawing separate pages and then merging them into panels. I think entire page would need to go, honestly. I'm not gonna torture myself to redraw everything. I think I am gonna just leave most of it as it is and finish at least ground floor first of this draft. So I'm just doing the ground floor. So this is about mansion with monsters in every room. Literally, as you saw, I was just like, I'm just gonna name it that way because I'm silly. But I think I finished it firstly. But I just want to have notes of things that I could make better and sort of learn from. And I think one of the things is definitely readability and flow, though I think here the conversation is probably flowing the best so far because one after another. But this is another sort of blocky thing that doesn't necessarily flow naturally, I think. So definitely panels on this one might need to redo. I like this page. This is very loose page, just like flow. And I like that one. I kind of like that some pages are not so crowded. And I think we're just getting less and less crowded as I go. So I think I'm not gonna change page 9, even though it's not like necessarily beautiful. Character. Okay, toilet scene. I kind of showed you like text panels, but I was like, I'm gonna write a toilet scene, but I didn't tell you guys that it's a toilet scene, but it was just writing. So again, not as crowded, and I think that's fine. I wanted to also finally starting to use some different panelings. So I'm gonna starting with showing them from, far away, not just close-ups. So I think I'm sort of improving. Doesn't mean it's flowing any better. Again, I probably prefer now these not crowded pages versus the ones that were super crowded. But I also know that in terms of artistic, when I resize pictures into smaller, they look better when zoomed out. So that's one thing. Now this is a slime monster. So there will be definitely a monster out of it. So let me just write that. And back in echo is gonna be soon shown as well. Because I didn't put a lot of facial expressions. Here we go. I think this is like the first. Okay, it's not a first, but it's like a first and expression really. Because everything else is kind of just talking. And this is what I did today, or finished today. I did some bones in the closet and the back and echo. I think I want some humor. I mean, toilets always give humor, right? I would like some humor around here. So I think even though I did, in my head, I think it can be seen a bit more humorous, I didn't necessarily embrace it. So just gonna write humor. But I don't know if I'll be able to squeeze anything extra into it. And I stopped here, really. So I think it's okay. Again, more expression-filled faces. But I think, again, that faces can be improved. I think I'm starting to slump down with the art. And I think the artistic part is kind of dropping as I go through these pages. But you know what? The goal is to finish this. And this is the last part that I have done so far. I know I've been working with whatever I have so much longer. I clearly have like entire list of corrections I would like to do, but I'm a bit feverish. I don't know if any of you get that sort of like driving anxiety that is like really hard to focus on a detail. And you just want to like keep going and keep going through it. It's really hard to focus on any detail. And I noticed that even my art that I do on paper, because I'm trying to prepare for Peachtober, even the art I do on paper is not holding strong right now. So I'm surprised I actually managed to do so many pages in general, because everything is a little bit like off. So I think I will need to wait for better days to do corrections, because I will just be redrawing and might not necessarily get anywhere. I'm still doing the ground floor, and I think I'll reach up to 20 pages to do the ground floor, because I still want to do ballroom and like a conservatory. So definitely gonna add some monsters. I already know the monsters and everything, and sometimes it's really hard because I just want to put everything out of my head on page as quickly as possible, and that's why you get all these rushed panels and whatnot. I am suspecting there is a little bit neurodiversity there, because I really struggle to finish the projects. Really get worked up on things and overwhelmed very easily. So, if you can support me in the comments or anything, say like something encouraging, because it always helps. But this is what I've been working on, and a lot of studio time. I'm actually spending a lot of time every day to draw some pages, hoping to finish it. So, and also working on Peachtober. So I think as productivity wise, doing very well. So thank you for joining me. Like, support, subscribe. And I'll see you next time. And it might be that I'll be on a completely different project because how my brain works. Um, but I know even if it's really deep in the back of my mind, I often do come back to look at the project and whatnot. So stay around. See you next time. Bye.